And we're back one more time for an episode of
The Horror Guys. And this is a special episode. We're calling it episode 261, but it's not our usual format because it's a little after the end of 2023. We're going to talk about our favorites.
2023 wrap-up, top 10, bottom couple. Yeah.
What we liked, what we didn't like. Yeah.
And we had lots of both.
Yeah, we did. But we're going to limit it to just a few that we didn't like and mostly talk about stuff we did like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Stuff we highly recommend.
And we will have this list, of course. We're going to send out a special episode of the Horror Bulletin newsletter with our top 10s in it, which will go out later this week.
And a disclaimer, we didn't see every single horror movie that came out in 2023. So
we tried.
You know, if you're out there screaming like, how could you overlook, movie X?
Well, send us an email or
send us an email,
us.
and we'll check it out if you really thought it was worthy. But there might be a few out there that were really good that we didn't see yet.
There is only 52 weeks in a year.
Only so many hours a day we can spare to watch movies.
We did, however, see 365 movies this year.
Wow.
Actually, more than that if you include the ones that go into the books and don't make it to the websites.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, well, let's get started. Number 10, your worst of the best.
My worst of the best? Oh, I don't know if I really rated them that way.
Oh,
okay.
You didn't sort?
I didn't sort because I like them all so much.
Well, you have to pick one now. My number 10, my worst of the best, my top 10, my lowest one.
Okay.
Cocaine Bear.
Oh, all right.
I thought it was very, very silly.
It was silly and very well made.
Yeah.
Thoroughly entertaining.
The concept was stupid. The posters were stupid. The trailers were stupid. And it was still actually very entertaining.
It was.
What would happen if you got a bear
high on cocaine?
And they got the most incompetent crooks going after the cocaine also. So, it was something.
It's a bunch of bumbling and fumbling going on. And, yeah. Okay, I'll go with my number 10, Candyland.
Okay.
Which was life of a bunch of prostitutes at a truck stop, and I wouldn't call it their idyllic life, but
it's not a happy life.
Their way of life is interrupted by a new addition who is a girl who is a survivor and escapee from a cult. And she herself gets welcomed into the fold, and it goes poorly for everybody.
I thought the serial killer side of that movie was the least interesting. I thought the truck stop prostitution thing was actually the most interesting part of it,
because it tells how that they were telling how it works, and how you meet the Johns, and it was kind of informative.
As someone who's never been to a truck stop hooker, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, but thoroughly entertaining, and that's in my. It's a new movie, and that's one of my top.
It's on my list too, but we'll get to it.
Okay.
My number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Probably get some flack for this one, but Renfield.
No, that's on. It's on. Was that? Yeah. There it is. Okay. I was like, where is it? I know it's on my list. Yes, that too is on my list.
The original 1931 Dracula
any flack might come from our listeners, but not from me.
The 1931 Dracula is a major classic, and Bela Lugosi is the iconic vampire. And it just amazed me how close Nick Cage came to looking like Bela Lugosi in a few of these scenes.
Yeah, they actually have an opening black and white scene with Nick Cage in the role like it's the original movie. And then they just continue on to modern day.
Well, I gotta say, it's one of those movies that gets worse as it goes along. A lot of it is really kind of dumb.
It's really dumb. It's really funny though, and I was impressed with Nick Cage. Dracula. He's just a horrible monster, and yet Nick Cage. There are real moments where you can, that's the charm. And that's how he gets away with it. And when he meets the woman who's the head of the mafia, and turns on his charm. It's like, that's how Dracula does it.
Yep, he is not just a people leader.
And his accent, people I've seen
it's not great.
His accent comes and goes, but he's been living in the United States for decades, and it's rubbing off, and his original accent is fading. So I have no faults with this, and thought it was a hoot.
Yeah. Don't take it too seriously. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
Well, what's your next one?
Well, I will go with Totally Killer.
Okay.
Which was a really fun time travel
It's
horror
Back to
story.
the Future with a slasher.
Back to the Future with a slasher, and the slasher is kind of in both timelines, and it messes with the timelines, and it's got a good cast that you kind of root for, and yeah, it had a lot to like about it.
Yep. I'm not going to say it, but it's on my list later also.
Uh-oh.
We're going to have some duplications before long.
Well, I'm marking those down. Yeah.
Number 8 for me,
Uh-huh.
Talk to Me.
Okay.
Tell it to the hand.
I almost put that on my list because I liked it a lot.
It's not on your list. Okay.
It's not on my list. No.
These teenagers have this cursed hand that if you talk to, you say some magic words to it, a demon from inside the hand will possess your mind and take over your body. And believe it or not, things go badly.
They go really badly. Yeah.
There's a few scenes that are just really, really well done.
Yeah. Really disturbing, and I loved the ending too. That was cool.
Yeah.
How they don't wrap things up, but they show it from. Yeah. I'm not going to.
I like how they're not afraid to beat the little kid up.
Yeah, they certainly do.
Usually the little kids
that
are
poor
so
guy.
protected, and not this time.
Yeah, that poor guy really gets it rough. Yeah, but yeah, it was all around good.
Yeah. What's next for you?
I'm going to go with an Argentine movie, When Evil Lurks, which was
Oh, it's on my list too.
okay.
Some of your lower ones are some of my higher ones, I think.
An interesting take on. I mean, it's kind of an alternate reality almost, where everybody just accepts this is a thing and accept this is real.
Well, I think some of those small Argentina towns probably are like it. They've got their local religion or mythology.
But they talk about
or
it happening in the city and other outbreaks and stuff. So I think it's like a thing that everybody
really
knows.
happens.
Yeah, but it's basically a zombie movie, but it's like a virus almost.
A zombie / possession.
But it's almost
/
magic.
virus.
But it's magic too, and boy, it's really well done how they handle this one. It's unique, and yeah, I liked everything about it.
I like the way in this one the way they telegraph everything. You can see ahead of time that so and so is going to get whacked in the head with an axe.
Yeah.
But then it turns out to be so much more than you're expecting.
Yeah.
There's a scene with a dog. You know what's going to happen.
You know what's going to happen.
Then it's so much more than you're expecting.
Yeah.
It over-delivers.
The tension builds, and then boom. Yeah.
Number 7.
Yeah, what do you say?
Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Okay. Yeah,
I didn't like the creature effects in this one. I thought he looked a little too CGI.
I think it might
But the story overall was very good.
I wonder if it might have been better, the CGI on the big screen.
A lot of them are like that. They look kind of cheesy on TV.
You could tell it was.
Yeah.
And I thought the water sometimes, you could tell the CGI-ness of it. But yeah, you're right. The story was very cool. It takes it's basically a gap that's not very covered very well in the original Bram Stoker, when Dracula is coming from Europe to America on the boat.
It's a chapter from the book. Yes.
So spoilers. You know how it's going to end. He makes it to America, but this poor crew of people, yeah, it goes poorly for them.
Back in 2020, the BBC did a mini series of Dracula.
Yeah.
The first part was in Transylvania, the third part was in modern times, and the second part was this story. So it's not the first time the Demeter story has been told, but it's really well done.
Yeah, it was.
What's up next?
Oh, from me?
From you.
I'm going to go with The Goldsmith.
Oh.
Another international one.
I had that on my list, and I got bumped for something else later on.
Yeah, it's 3 thugs, two guys and a gal, who are going to knock over this seemingly harmless old couple out in the country, and he's a goldsmith. They think he's got treasure. He thinks he's got all these, valuables, and
It's a home invasion story.
They're just going to break in and rob him. Well,
Plus.
It gets way more complicated than that. The tables get turned, and yeah, it's ugly.
Yeah, that's not on my list, but if we were doing number 11, that would be mine.
Yeah, The Goldsmith.
So it's very good, yeah.
Yes.
And that was subtitled, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember, Belgium or French or something.
Yeah, it was subtitled.
All right, number 6 for me, Candyland.
Okay.
The Truck Stop Hookers.
Yep.
I really liked that one. It was very, not the most horrific thing, but I thought it was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Disturbing.
Yeah. What's your next one?
Oh, I'm going to go with Perpetrator.
Oh, okay.
which is it's a coming of age story with a young woman becoming an adult woman, and as she does, she's got some powers, and she ends up living with an aunt, and the aunt turns out also has powers that are not quite the same as hers because it runs in the family, and apparently no two people have exactly the same thing.
It's a mystery.
But then, complicating this further, there's abductions going on and possibly a serial killer at work. And so she's trying to figure out what's going on with that and get the hang of her new powers at the same time. Really well done.
It seems sort of witchcrafty, but then later on it's kind of a mutant superhero story, and
Yeah,
it's kind of got a lot of little things going on in it.
The aunt seems to have an element of magic with a cake. There's a cake that's involved, or maybe that triggers things, but mostly it just seems like they're psychic. And there's one, I'm going to spoil it a little bit. There's one, it's probably my favorite scene. She goes to a party, and as she
walks through the party,
yeah, she doesn't have a solid grip on her abilities yet. She keeps picking up on other people as she walks through the party, and like in the course of a minute, she mimics, like half a dozen people. Just the timing of that scene.
That was a neat scene.
Yeah, and her abilities as an actress, and yeah, that was cool.
All right, very cool. Yeah, that one did not make my list. I kind of just overlooked it, I think.
What's next then?
We Have a Ghost.
Oh, okay.
Not on your list?
Not on my list.
All right. This is the long one.
I enjoyed it.
It was a long movie, yeah. David Harbour as the ghost.
This was a more family-friendly one.
I would say if you liked that Disney Haunted Mansion movie, this might be a good one to go along with that.
It's on par. You wouldn't want little kids to see it, but young folks, yeah, it's not too objectionable. There's not a lot of gore.
Yeah.
As far as horror goes.
Yeah, this family moves into a creepy old house, and turns out they have a ghost, and there's more to it than that. Of course.
There's a mystery to be solved. Yeah.
The ghost can kind of communicate with them, and he's a friendly ghost. He's not a scary ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What's your next?
I enjoyed it. I'm going to go with Suitable Flesh.
All right.
Which I really enjoyed.
What's that about?
It's a young man who is having troubles, goes to a psychiatrist, and turns out that there's a demonic person who's able to possess other people's bodies. And so there's a lot of body hopping back and forth. It actually starts out with the psychiatrist already locked up, and she's telling the story of what happened.
Flashbacks,
Yeah,
yes.
in flashbacks. So we get the young guy, but then things catch up to the present, and boy, it gets out of hand with the possession back and forth. And yeah, I thought it was really well done. Liked the cast, liked their abilities. Yeah, all around win for me.
Okay, that may be on my list as well.
Suitable Flesh.
Yeah. All right, number 4 for me is Totally Killer.
Okay.
The time travel one.
Yeah.
What's yours next?
I'm going to go with one I bet you don't have. It was an indie film that really grabbed me, The Wheel of Heaven.
You really liked that, didn't you?
Yes, I
That's
did.
not on my list,
Yeah.
but it was weird.
And I looked online this morning. I guess we could email the guy, but is it streaming? On JustWatch.com. It's not streaming anywhere. I don't know.
Probably still in the festival circuit.
The circuits, yeah. We were given a review copy. Given the privilege of reviewing it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's just the actress plays so many characters in it. It's hard to explain the plot.
It's very hard to explain that one.
Yeah.
Go over to the Horror Guy site, look it up, and read it for yourself. But yeah, it's kind of a mishmash of a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, it's a choose your own adventure thing. But it starts out with her as one character. She's an artist, like for example, talking about her art, and she's got weird. And then she talks about this diorama spaceship that she made. Well, then it hops to her being the captain of the spaceship as a little science fiction thing, and it just hops all over back and forth, and then it's got weird commercials in it too. and then it shows them making the movie and talking about making the movie and what the movie's going to be about. Yeah, it's one to check out if you can.
Alrighty. Very cool.
That only leaves 2 left.
Number 3 for me,
Uh-huh.
Suitable Flesh.
Okay.
I like the whole possession thing. That was really cool.
Yeah.
It was very retro 80s like too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Very, very neat. Yeah. Next.
Oh, 2 left. I'm going to go with No One Will Save You, which was a science fiction alien invasion. There's this young woman, and there's so little dialogue in it. It's amazing, her performance.
I don't
Just
think
goes
she
for-
ever speaks, does she?
I think she does at one point.
Okay.
Yeah, but barely. Yeah. She's kind of an outcast from the town.
And why is she an outcast from the town? We
That's-
don't know
that's
until
not-
later.
Yeah, that's not made clear at first, but she's living alone, and alien invasion happens.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, so she's fighting off aliens, and goes to town and tries to get help and can't, and goes to the neighbors, and yeah, it's really well done, and a whole bunch of stuff without dialogue.
Yeah,
Just her
very little.
silently battling the. Yeah.
I mean, some of the neighbors have words, so it's not like a silent film, but
No,
it's pretty
yeah.
close.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Okay, I'm going to cheat on my number 2,
Yeah.
Godzilla Minus One.
Okay.
We saw this one in the theater, so we haven't actually had a chance to review it on the site, so we didn't write this one up yet.
But I approve of this cheat. It's okay.
Yeah, it was very, very good.
I've seen many of the old Godzillas, and I've seen Shin Godzilla and all those modern remakes. The Kong versus, well, they haven't done the Kong versus Godzilla
all the new
yet. That's
Godzillas,
coming,
yeah.
but all the new Godzillas. This was my favorite of any Godzilla.
It's got the best story.
I liked it all around. It's my number 1.
Yeah, World War II is over. The Japanese people are crushed and wreckage is everywhere. It's a disaster. They all feel terrible for losing. They kind of feel terrible for being involved in it in the first place. And just to make everything worse,
Here comes a
here comes
kaiju.
a monster. Yeah. And in some of those old movies, Godzilla's kind of the hero. He's a good guy. He comes to protect Tokyo, and the people cheer him on. And this one here, he is just a mean old monster.
Yep, he is.
Yeah, he is just out to kill and maim, and he likes going after those ships.
Yeah. Well, we saw it at the theater, and yeah, both of us
We
really
see
liked
very few movies at the theater.
Mm-hmm.
This one we couldn't wait.
it. Yep,
We'll eventually get this one for the site when it comes on streaming.
it was worth it.
What you got next?
Infinity Pool.
Oh,
You sound shocked.
this is your number 2 or your number 1?
Well, this would be my number 1. It's the only one left of my 10.
Okay, I got one left. So yeah, you
I
should
mean,
have-
and I'm not going to hold to a strictly 1 through 10 on this because
Okay.
I liked them all so much equally. But yeah, Infinity Pool, it's very heavily science fiction. Basically, the premise is it's this weird little country that is fictional, and if you commit a crime, you can have a duplicate made of yourself, and the duplicate is punished instead of you. Well, what makes it complicated is these are exact duplicates.
like which one's the original kind of
Yeah,
duplicate?
like it thinks it's you, literally. Well, there's this group of rich people who kind of abuse the system and are living it up and yucking it up and doing crimes. And
the only crime, the only punishment for any crime is death.
yeah.
But they kill the
But-
duplicate.
so, they just, whatever, make a duplicate. Well, the duplicate dies. No big deal.
But then the system goes wrong.
Yeah, things get more complicated than that, and the relationships of this small group of people gets more complicated, and I really loved it.
Okay. Yeah, I think the plot was really cool. I think the idea behind it was really cool. I didn't like the actors.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like the ending.
Oh, I did.
I didn't like the whole tone. I just did not like it. A bad taste movie.
Oh, no, I liked everything about it.
All right.
What's your number 1 then?
When Evil Lurks.
Oh, okay.
The Argentina zombie movie.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
I think you missed one somewhere. Did you skip one? Because I started and then you got me last. I think you missed a movie.
No, I said 10.
What were
I've
they?
got 10 of them. We got Infinity Pool.
Yeah.
No One Will Save You.
Yeah.
Perpetrator.
Yeah.
Renfield. Maybe because
Oh, you
already
didn't
said
say Renfield. Okay, that was it.
'cause
Okay,
you
we
said
skipped
Renfield.
over your version of Renfield. Okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. What, you got any honorable mentions?
I do have an honorable mention that was a 2023 movie that we saw in 2023 because it's strictly science fiction. I really don't consider this one horror at
It's
all.
got to be one that I've got also, I think, from what you're hinting at it.
Boy Makes Girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shades of Mr. Robot. The guy, the main character, kept reminding me of the main character from Mr. Robot. But it's a guy who's incredibly smart and incredibly socially awkward. Probably, I mean, I think they're portraying, he's autistic. He's just, he's highly functional, highly intelligent. He makes an android companion. Well, it gets a little complicated because she doesn't necessarily know she's an android. She thinks she's a person, and he's trying to find love, and she's trying to find love. And
At what point do you tell your creation that it's a creation?
yeah, and it gets complicated as things progress and their relationship progresses.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done. Really liked it. That's Boy Makes Girl.
Makes,
Makes
yes.
Girl. Yeah.
Okay, I've got an honorable mention here for Leave the World Behind.
Okay.
It was not advertised as horror, so we watched it, and I didn't do the synopsis or review or anything because I didn't think it was going to be a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it totally qualifies.
It certainly got the elements.
Yeah, it's got all the elements there, and it was one of those movies that we were talking about 3 days. Actually, we're still talking about it like 2 or 3 weeks later.
Yeah, things like
Any movie that you talk about 2 weeks later is a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are hating it because the ending is a little. It doesn't wrap everything up at the end.
Right.
It doesn't explain everything. Actually, it doesn't explain anything.
Not a lot. Yeah, you have to kind of make your own mind up.
But I thought it was a fun ride getting to the end.
Yeah, I agree.
You got another honorable mention?
Not of 2023 movies.
Oh, yeah. What did we watch this year?
Things that we saw in 2023.
Old movies.
I have several mentions. One is a Turkish film called Baskin that I thought was just excellent.
Oh, that was cool, yeah.
It's some cops who get called to this ominous little area and get pulled into a cult situation. And the cult leader is just weird.
I think it's a Turkish movie.
It is Turkish,
It's not a lot
yeah.
we don't see a lot of Turkish movies. What year was that?
That was 2015.
Okay.
And we saw it this year. I hadn't seen or heard anything about it. Yeah, big thumbs up on that one.
All right. Yeah, one we just saw last week that we did do a write-up on, but hasn't. I think it just came on this week on our website is Saltburn.
Oh, yeah, I liked that
It's
a lot.
another one we're talking about 3 or 4 days later.
Yes, and still thinking about.
Now, that one was advertised as a thriller
comedy, not horror.
So I was kind of skeptical going into it that this is a horror movie, but the trailer made it look like a horror movie, and it's been mentioned in a bunch of the horror Reddits and things. And
it runs parallel
yeah,
to horror.
Once I without spoiling it, I can't say why it's a horror movie, but it is.
Okay.
There are many other movies that fit in the same genre, but we'll talk about it in this week's upcoming podcast, so I'm not going to get into that too much right now. But it was very good also.
Yeah, we both really liked it, would recommend it.
Don't watch it with your parents.
Yeah. Probably not.
So a bunch of people said they watched it with their mom and like, oh my God.
Yeah, oh wow. Yeah.
What else you got?
Honorable mention, a series of movies, the Subspecies movies.
Oh, yeah.
We saw all of those this year.
There were 5.
And just really impressed with how much fun they are, how good they are, how consistent they are.
And these are like 30 years old mostly.
Yeah.
The newest one just came out.
Same cast, a lot of the same people involved throughout the whole series. If you liked the first one, you'll probably like them all.
Yeah, we kept saying
That's
we
so
wish they'd
rare
make
in a
more,
series.
and why are these so underrated? They made 5 of them. It couldn't have been too underrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
The Subspecies.
yeah, also very cool. All right, well, that's all my good honorable mentions. What else you got?
For honorable mentions, a 1970 movie that I had never seen, Colossus, the Forbin Project.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was really cool. Some idiot puts an AI in charge of basically the military. And it's this, perfect system. It's a perfect computer.
The Americans do it,
And then the
seal
Russians
it
do
up.
it. Yeah. And things get out of hand because they gave it access to the nuclear arsenal. And it becomes aware and it decides that it wants to rule the world. And yeah, it causes a problem.
It does.
Yeah. And another honorable mention I give Phase 4 from 1974.
The Ants.
The Ants.
That is just a weird movie.
It's weird. It's atmospheric. Yeah, really liked it. Basically, the premise is all the ants, all the species in the world start cooperating. And there's this one little outpost where they're trying to figure out what's going on. And, yeah, hilarity ensues from there. It's very 70s. Yeah, liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was a good one, too. Yeah, I didn't make any honorable mentions of old movies.
Okay.
Probably should have.
Yeah, you should have. Another one I'm going to throw out there that we saw this year, Pontypool.
Uh-huh.
Canadian apocalyptic movie taking place in a radio station.
Surprisingly low budget and very effective.
In mostly just one location, mostly in the studio rooms. Yeah, really well done. I liked that guy. He was perfect for that role.
Yeah.
Another one, quick mention, is Seven from 1995, the serial killer one with Brad Pitt. And
What's in the Box?
What's in the Box? Yeah. And The Menu, which was a 2022 movie that we saw this year.
I think that was the first movie we saw in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed it in 2022. A group of food reviewers and food critics converge on a exclusive dinner on an island. Well, they're trapped there. And the chef is kind of bonkers, to say the least.
He doesn't like his critics.
So they're served a very exclusive meal, and yeah, things turn deadly.
Very cool. Yes, good choice.
Yeah. Now,
the stinkers of the year.
what was your least favorite?
I'm going to start out with an honorable mention because we saw Skinamarink in 2022.
You're still going on
It didn't
about
release
that.
until 2023, but we saw it and reviewed it in 2022. And I will go on record saying, as of now, this is still the worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life. Very likely the worst movie I will ever see.
Oh, I don't know about that. You've seen Werewolf on Wheels.
This was worse. Werewolf on Wheels. I mean, it was god awful and stupid, but this was just nothing. This was a scam on film.
Brad feels very strongly about Skinamarink.
Yes, I do. Okay, well, I got 3 bad ones. What do you got?
I got 3 bad ones.
Okay.
Well, and bad is I'm
not going to rank the 3 bad ones.
I'm gonna say bad in the sense that I did not like them.
That's all that matters. That's all
Not
we're talking
necessarily
about.
badly made.
There
or
are people who
bad
love
there
Skinamarink. I
yeah.
think they're stupid, but
Well,
that's another story.
And there are people who loved Evil Dead Rise. And I did not. I was actually kind of angry after watching this.
I didn't hate it bad enough to put it on my worst list,
Because
it's way down there.
I so like Bruce Campbell's work in the first couple of movies, and I was looking forward to more of the same, and this is without him.
He is that series. Otherwise, it's just a weird possession zombie thing.
And it just was, and the possession just kind of felt like it went on and on and on, with no way out for these people.
He was doing the TV series just a couple years ago, so it's not like he's too old.
Yeah, the TV series was a hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Evil Dead TV series and the first couple movies, and this one, massive disappointment to Kevin. Yeah, didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, it's not on my worst of the year. It was a fine movie. It just
I'm
was
not saying
not a
it
good.
wasn't well made. The effects were top notch, and the cast is.
It's one of those ones. If they'd have called it something else, it might have done better.
Yeah,
it was not an Evil Dead movie.
No, I didn't think so.
A couple of the elements were there. They had the book.
Yeah,
That's about it.
Yeah,
Insidious, The Red Door.
Well, that's one of mine too.
Yeah, that just
I'm so tired of those.
I want to say I wanted to sleep. I went to sleep through half of it, but I think it was just dull enough. I just thought I went to sleep through it.
I don't find them gripping. I'm tired of them, and they
This
keep
one was-
making them. Just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop making these.
Well, I think the first Insidious was pretty decent.
Yeah.
This was just
But
wow. Why?
I want them to stop now. Don't make any more.
So
Don't
you-
make this one.
So that was on your work. We agree
Yeah.
that that's worst of the year.
That's
Okay.
one of my 3 of mentions that I enjoyed the least. Yeah.
Okay, so you got 2 of yours out of the way. I got 2 left. I got The Outwaters.
Oh, okay. See, I kind of enjoyed that. I didn't hate that one.
These people go out to the desert on vacation, and strange things happen for no apparent reason, and weird things happen that make no sense. And at the end, I think most of them die, but I'm not quite sure because none of it made any sense.
Okay. That's your take. It's a found footage. They go out in the desert and dark forces are conspiring against them.
And that's the most coherent story you're ever going to get from this.
Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought there was a lot to like about it.
All right. Well, what else you got?
Scream 6. I'm so tired of those, and this one was nothing new, and it wasn't as good as the others, and yeah.
Huh. I thought Scream 6 was a big step up from Scream 5. I thought 1 was the best, and then 2 was a little worse, 3 got a little worse. The first 5 were consistently, each one got progressively worse.
And then the Scream 6 was another step down, another half step down for me.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just not impressed with them anymore.
Well, if it's any consolation, Scream 7 sounds like it may be a ways off.
Yeah, they're having some troubles with that.
All right, my last stinker is The Nun 2.
Oh, yes, another one where I'm tired of.
Yeah.
The whole series and the Conjuring series, and
some of the Conjurings were pretty good.
Well, and
some of them were not.
And what fundamentally bothers me there is at its heart, it's based on true events, inspired by real events.
Well, I think
people.
the Conjuring ones were. I don't think the Nun was. I think the Nun was just all made up.
Isn't that in the same universe, though?
Oh, yeah, technically.
I mean, it's the same people and the same quote real psychics.
Well, they don't really show up much in the Nun. I think they make a phone call or something.
Well, they don't show up much, but it's still the implication that this is real. This is inspired by true events because this couple was real frauds. I mean, I just
yes.
Yeah, I'm just that whole Conjuring Annabelle Nun bugs me at its core.
Okay, well, the ones that we agree on then, let's see. We both liked Renfield.
Mm-hmm.
We both liked, you didn't have Talk to Me, did you?
I didn't have it on my list.
We both liked Candyland.
Mm-hmm.
We both liked Totally Killer.
And Suitable Flesh.
Suitable Flesh, When Evil Lurks, and Godzilla Minus One, and Stay Away from Insidious the Red Door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in agreement on that. Well, in general.
Well, I think we agree that they're all good.
In general, we were in agreement on all this list, except The Outwaters was probably our biggest disagreement.
Yes.
Which I enjoyed and you did not.
I did not.
Yeah.
I detested. Well, there are worse.
Yeah. I think that was our the only outright disagreement on the list.
All righty.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this week. Well, it's really not that for this week. We'll have our regular weekly episode at the usual times. This is our bonus episode.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to you in episode 262.
Yeah, and if you want to drop us a note and let us know what you thought of 2023 movies, or if there's anything we missed or any you disagree with,
something really good that we didn't even talk about, or something really bad that we didn't comment on. Yeah, let us know what we're skipping.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched something like 75 movies from 2023. The ones that were actually released in 2023, 75 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, hundreds of others.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of horror movies coming out these years lately.
There are.
The golden age of horror.
It seems to be.
Yeah. All right, well, next time, I'm Brian.
And I'm Kevin.
See ya.
See ya.